Aquarius. The week your future starts feeling real. This week holds a turning point that could quietly reshape everything you have been building toward. And if you stay with me through this reading, you will understand exactly why this moment matters more than you think. Aquarius, the energy surrounding you right now is unlike anything you have felt in a long time. There is a shift happening beneath the surface, and it is not subtle. It is the kind of shift that makes you pause in the middle of an ordinary afternoon and suddenly realize that the life you have been imagining is no longer far away. It is close. It is almost tangible. You can nearly touch it. But here is the thing. This kind of energy does not wait around forever. It arrives with purpose, it opens a door, and then it moves on. What you do in the next few days will determine whether you walk through that door or watch it slowly close. I am not saying this to pressure you. I am saying this because I genuinely see something powerful lining up in your chart, and I do not want you to miss it. The stars are aligning in a way that favors bold, grounded action. Not reckless action, not impulsive leaps, but the kind of steady, clear-eyed movement that comes from finally knowing what you want and deciding you are worthy of having it. So stay with me. Every single piece of guidance in this reading builds on the one before it, and by the end, you will have a complete picture of how to navigate this extraordinary week. Tip 1. The first thing you need to understand this week is that the energy around your sense of purpose is being completely restructured from the ground up. For months now, maybe even longer, you have been carrying a quiet feeling that something about your direction in life needs to change. Not a dramatic throw everything away kind of change, more like a recalibration, a fine-tuning. You have sensed that the path you have been walking is close to the right one, but not exactly on it. And that slight misalignment has been creating a low hum of dissatisfaction that you could not quite name. Well, this week that hum gets louder, but not in a way that is uncomfortable. It gets louder in a way that finally brings clarity. You are going to start seeing with real precision where your energy has been going and where it actually needs to go. Think of it like adjusting the focus on a camera. Everything has been slightly blurry, and you have been functioning just fine in the blur because you are adaptable. You are resilient. You are the kind of person who keeps going even when the picture is not perfectly clear. But this week the lens sharpens, and when it does, you are going to notice things you have been overlooking. You might realize that a project you have been pouring time into is not giving you back the energy it should. Or you might suddenly see that a small, quiet interest you have been pushing to the side is actually the thing that lights you up the most. Whatever it is, pay attention. These realizations are not random. They are being guided by a planetary alignment that specifically targets your ability to see your own truth. And your truth this week is this. You are ready for something more aligned. You are ready to stop settling for close enough. The universe is not asking you to make a massive leap. It is asking you to acknowledge what you already know. That acknowledgement is the first step. And once you take it, the rest begins to unfold with a momentum that will surprise you. Here is why this matters so much right now. When you finally admit to yourself what you truly want, you send a signal out into the world. It is like flipping a switch. Opportunities that were invisible before suddenly become visible. People who can help you suddenly appear. Doors you did not even know existed begin to open. This is not wishful thinking. This is how energy works when it is properly directed. And this week, your energy is being directed with extraordinary precision. So do not fight the clarity. Do not talk yourself out of what you are feeling. If something feels right, trust that feeling. If something feels off, trust that too. Your inner compass is more accurate right now than it has been in years, and the more you listen to it, the more powerful it becomes. But this is only the beginning of what is unfolding for you this week, and what comes next builds on this foundation in a way that might catch you off guard. Tip 2. The second thing the stars are revealing for you this week involves your relationships, and specifically, the way you have been showing up in them. Aquarius, you are known for your independence. It is one of your greatest strengths. You do not need anyone else to complete you, and you have never been the type to lose yourself in another person. But here is something the stars want you to hear this week. Independence and isolation are not the same thing. And lately, without even realizing it, you may have been drifting from one toward the other. This is not a criticism. It is an observation rooted in deep compassion. Life has a way of teaching us to protect ourselves, and over time those protective walls can become so familiar that we forget they are there. You stop noticing when you are keeping people at arm's length because it has become your default setting. But this week, something is going to crack that wall open. Not in a painful way, in a beautiful way. Someone in your life is going to say something or do something that reminds you what genuine connection feels like. It might be a long conversation that goes deeper than usual. It might be a moment of unexpected vulnerability from someone you thought you knew completely. It might be as simple as someone looking at you and really seeing you. Whatever form it takes, let it in. Do not deflect it with humor. Do not minimize it. Do not change the subject. Just let it land. Because that moment of real connection is carrying a message from the universe, and the message is this: you do not have to do everything alone. You never did. The strength you are so proud of, and rightfully so, does not require solitude. In fact, your strength becomes even more powerful when it is shared. When you let someone stand beside you, not in front of you or behind you, but right beside you, something magical happens. You become more of yourself, not less. This week is asking you to examine the relationships in your life and honestly assess which ones feed your soul and which ones drain it. This is not about cutting people off or making dramatic declarations. It is about paying attention. Notice who you feel lighter around. Notice who makes you feel like you have to perform or pretend. Notice who asks you how you are really doing and actually waits for the answer. Those are the people who deserve more of your time and attention. And those are the people who will play an important role in the next chapter of your life. Because the future that is starting to feel real this week, it involves other people. Your vision is not a solo project. Even if the core of it is yours and yours alone, the execution of it will require trust, collaboration, and the willingness to let others contribute. This might feel uncomfortable at first. That is okay. Discomfort is not danger. Discomfort is growth. And the growth available to you this week in the area of relationships is profound. So lean into it. Let someone in a little deeper than usual. Share something you have been holding back. Ask for help with something you have been trying to handle on your own. You might be amazed at what happens when you do. And what the stars are revealing next is going to show you exactly how this connection energy ties into something much bigger that is brewing in your life. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. The third piece of guidance coming through for you this week is about your finances. And it is important that you hear this clearly. There is a shift happening in the way money flows toward you, and it is directly connected to the clarity you are gaining about your purpose. When you start aligning your actions with your true direction, your financial energy begins to shift as well. It is as though the universe rewards alignment with abundance. Not overnight, not in some miraculous windfall, but in a steady, reliable increase that builds on itself week after week. This week, you might start noticing small signs of this shift. An unexpected opportunity to earn. A realization about where you have been spending money that no longer serves your goals. A sudden idea about a new stream of income that actually excites you. Pay attention to all of it. These are not coincidences. They are signals. The universe is showing you a new financial path, and it is asking you to take the first step. Now, here's where it gets interesting. For Aquarius, money has always been a complicated subject. You are not driven by wealth for its own sake. You do not dream of luxury just to have luxury, but you do understand that financial stability gives you freedom, and freedom is the thing you value most. So when I say the stars are opening up new financial energy for you this week, I am really saying they are opening up new freedom. The kind of freedom that lets you spend your time on what matters. The kind that lets you help the people you love without worrying about your own security. The kind that lets you pursue your passion without constantly stressing about bills. That freedom is closer than you think, but it requires a shift in mindset. This week, the stars are asking you to examine your relationship with money. Not just how you earn it or spend it, but how you feel about it. Do you believe you deserve abundance? And I mean truly, deeply believe it? Or is there a quiet voice in the back of your mind that says things like, good people do not care about money, or wanting more makes you greedy? Those voices are not your truth. They are old programs running in the background, and this week you have the power to rewrite them. Start by simply noticing them. When a thought about money comes up that feels heavy or shameful, catch it, observe it, and then gently replace it with something that feels more true. Something like, I deserve to be supported while I do meaningful work. Or abundance allows me to give more, not less. These small shifts in thinking may seem minor, but they are extraordinarily powerful. They change the frequency you are broadcasting to the world, and when your frequency changes, what you attract changes too. There is also a practical element to this week's financial energy. You may be presented with a decision about how to invest your time or resources. If so, choose the option that aligns with your long-term vision, even if the short-term payoff is smaller. The universe is playing a long game with your finances right now, and the moves that feel strategic and patient will pay off far more than the ones that feel urgent and reactive. Trust the process. Trust your instincts. And trust that the abundance you are seeking is also seeking you. But the financial picture is only one piece of what is shifting, and the next area the stars are illuminating might be the most transformative of all. Tip 4. The fourth area of focus this week is your health, and I need you to take this one personally. Not because something is wrong, but because something is trying to get your attention, and it has been trying for a while. Your body has been sending you messages, Aquarius. Small ones. A persistent ache here, a wave of fatigue there, a sleep pattern that has been slightly off, a feeling of being physically out of sync with your own rhythm. You have probably been ignoring these signals because you are good at pushing through. You are good at telling yourself it is nothing, just stress, just the weather, just age. But this week, the stars are amplifying those signals, and they are asking you to stop dismissing them and start listening. This is not about fear. This is not about imagining the worst. This is about respect. Respect for the body that has carried you through every single experience of your life. That body deserves your attention. It deserves your care. And right now, it is asking for something specific. Maybe it is asking for rest. Real rest. Not the kind where you sit on the couch but your mind is still racing through tomorrow's tasks. The kind where you genuinely let go. Where you close your eyes and give yourself permission to simply exist without producing, without planning, without worrying. Maybe it is asking for movement, not punishment, not a grueling routine that you dread, but joyful, liberating movement that makes you feel alive. A walk in the fresh air, some gentle stretching in the morning, dancing to your favorite song in the kitchen when no one is watching. Movement that reminds you that your body is not just a vehicle for getting things done. It is a source of pleasure and joy and vitality. Or maybe your body is asking you to pay attention to what you are putting into it. Not in a rigid, restrictive way, but with curiosity and love. This week, notice how different foods make you feel. Notice which ones give you energy and which ones steal it. Notice what you reach for when you are stressed versus what you reach for when you are genuinely hungry. These observations will tell you everything you need to know. The connection between your physical health and the bigger shifts happening in your life this week is more significant than you might realize. When your body feels good, your mind is clearer. When your mind is clearer, your decisions are better. When your decisions are better, your life moves in the direction you actually want it to go. It is all connected, every single piece. And this week, the stars are inviting you to treat your health not as a separate category, but as the foundation for everything else. The clearer and more energized you feel in your body, the more powerfully you will be able to receive and act on the guidance that is coming through in every other area of your life. Start small. Choose one thing your body has been asking for and give it that thing this week. Just one thing. You will be astonished at how much shifts when you do. And speaking of foundations, the next piece of guidance goes even deeper, into the very core of how you think about yourself. Tip 5. The fifth message coming through this week is about self-worth. And Aquarius, this one might hit close to home. There is a pattern in your life that you may not have fully recognized yet. And this week, the stars are bringing it into the light. The pattern is this. You tend to measure your worth by what you contribute, by how useful you are, by how much you give, how much you solve, how much you carry for other people. And on the surface, that seems like a noble way to live. But underneath it, there is a hidden cost. Because when your worth is tied to your output, what happens when you are tired? What happens when you need a break? What happens when you simply cannot give anymore? If your value depends on what you do, then resting feels like failing. Saying no feels like letting people down. Taking time for yourself feels selfish. And none of that is true. Not one bit of it. Your worth is not something you earn. It is something you were born with. It was yours before you accomplished a single thing, and it will be yours long after you stop trying to prove it. This week, the universe is gently but firmly asking you to separate your identity from your productivity, to find the version of yourself that exists beneath all the doing, the you that is valuable simply because you exist. This might feel unfamiliar. It might even feel uncomfortable. That is because you have spent so many years building your sense of self around being the strong one, the helpful one, the one who has it all together. And there is nothing wrong with being those things, but they should be expressions of who you are, not the source of your value. When you start to internalize this shift, everything changes. You start saying yes only to the things that genuinely light you up, instead of the things you feel obligated to do. You start resting without guilt. You start asking for what you need without apology. You start treating yourself with the same generosity and compassion that you have always extended to everyone else. And here is the beautiful part. The people in your life will not love you less for it. In fact, most of them will love you more. Because when you show up as your authentic self instead of the version of yourself you think they need, the connection becomes deeper. It becomes more honest, more real. This week, try something that might feel radical. Try doing absolutely nothing for an extended period of time and notice what comes up. Notice the voice that says you should be doing something. Notice the restlessness. Notice the guilt. And then let it pass. Because on the other side of that discomfort is a peace that you have been searching for your entire life. A peace that does not depend on achievement or approval or being needed. A peace that simply is. That peace is your birthright, Aquarius. And this week, you are being invited to claim it. The shifts happening in your self-worth are going to have a ripple effect on everything else unfolding for you. And the next tip reveals exactly where that ripple lands first. Tip 6. The sixth area the stars are highlighting this week is your creativity. And this one is going to feel like a breath of fresh air after some of the deeper work we have been exploring. Aquarius, there is a creative spark inside you that has been dimmed for too long. Maybe life got busy. Maybe responsibilities piled up. Maybe you convinced yourself that creativity is a luxury you cannot afford. But this week, that spark is being reignited, and the timing is not accidental. The universe knows that the next phase of your journey requires creative thinking. It requires you to see possibilities where others see walls. It requires imagination, innovation, and the willingness to try something you have never tried before. And all of those things live in the creative part of your mind, the part you may have been neglecting. This week, I want you to do something creative every single day. It does not have to be grand. It does not have to be good. It does not have to be shared with anyone. Write something, draw something, cook something new, rearrange a room in your home, plant something in your garden, build something with your hands. The act of creating is not about the end result. It is about the process. It is about entering a state of flow where time disappears and your mind stops its constant chatter. In that space, something miraculous happens. Solutions appear that you could not think your way to. Ideas emerge that seem to come from nowhere. Connections between seemingly unrelated things suddenly become obvious. This is not some abstract spiritual concept. This is neuroscience. When you engage in creative activity, your brain forms new neural pathways. It accesses parts of itself that analytical thinking cannot reach. And those new pathways are exactly what you need right now. Because the future that is starting to feel real this week requires you to think differently than you have been thinking. The old mental patterns got you here, and that is good. But they cannot take you where you are going. You need fresh perspectives, new angles, original approaches, and creativity is the doorway to all of them. There is another dimension to this week's creative energy that I want to highlight. Your creativity is not just for problem solving. It is for joy, pure unfiltered joy. When was the last time you did something simply because it brought you pleasure? Not because it was productive, not because it served a goal, not because someone else needed you to, just because it made you happy. If you cannot remember, that is a sign. That is the universe telling you that your happiness matters. That pleasure is not a reward you have to earn. That play is not just for children. This week, give yourself permission to play, to experiment, to make a mess, to laugh at your own imperfect creations, to remember that life is not just a series of tasks to complete, but an experience to be savored. The creative energy flowing through your chart right now is also preparing you for something specific that is coming, and the next tip is going to reveal exactly what that is. Tip 7. The seventh message from the stars this week touches on something that many people find difficult to talk about, and that is letting go. Aquarius, there is something in your life that has run its course. You know what it is. You have known for a while. It might be a habit that no longer serves you. It might be a belief you have outgrown. It might be a situation you have been tolerating because changing it feels harder than staying in it. Whatever it is, this week the energy is right for releasing it. And I want to be very clear about what letting go actually means because there are a lot of misunderstandings around it. Letting go does not mean you did not care. It does not mean the thing was not important. It does not mean you are giving up or being weak. Letting go means you are strong enough to acknowledge that something that once fit your life no longer does. And you are brave enough to create space for what comes next. Think of it like a closet. Over the years, you fill it with things. Some of those things were perfect for a particular season of your life. But seasons change. And if you never clear out what no longer fits, there is no room for what does. Your life is that closet right now. It is full, maybe over full. And the universe is handing you a quiet afternoon and saying, it is time to go through it. You do not have to throw everything out. That is not what this is about. It is about being honest with yourself about what still belongs and what is just taking up space out of habit or fear or sentimentality. This process can be emotional, and that is perfectly fine. You are allowed to feel sad about letting go of something even as you recognize it is the right thing to do. Those two truths can exist at the same time. You can love something and still release it. You can be grateful for a chapter and still close the book. The key is to approach this process with compassion, not harshness. You are not punishing yourself for holding on too long. You are simply choosing with gentle authority to move forward. And here is what I want you to hold on to. The space that opens up when you let go is not empty. It is full of potential. It is an invitation for new energy, new experiences, new possibilities to enter your life. And this week, the universe has some extraordinary things waiting to fill that space if you are willing to create it. You do not have to do this all at once. Start with one thing, the thing that feels easiest to release, or the thing that feels most urgent. Trust your instincts. They will guide you to the right starting point. And once you begin, you will find that the process has its own momentum. One release leads to another, and before you know it, you are standing in a space that feels lighter, cleaner, more aligned with who you are becoming. That lighter energy is going to be essential for what unfolds next. And the eighth piece of guidance is one you absolutely cannot afford to miss. Tip 8. The eighth message this week is about courage, and specifically the kind of courage that does not roar. There is a version of bravery that gets all the attention. The loud, dramatic, leap off a cliff kind. The kind that makes for good stories and admiring looks. But that is not the kind of courage the stars are asking of you this week. This week is about quiet courage. The kind that happens inside you in the moments no one else sees. The courage to be honest with yourself about what you want, even if it scares you. The courage to admit that you have been playing small. Not because you are small, but because playing small felt safer. The courage to look at the life you have built and say, this is good, but I know I am capable of more. That kind of courage does not get applause. It does not get awards, but it changes everything. Because the moment you stop hiding from your own potential, the entire trajectory of your life begins to shift. Aquarius, I need you to hear something this week that you may have been avoiding. You are more capable than you have been acting. You are more powerful than you have been allowing yourself to be. And the gap between who you are and who you have been presenting to the world is the source of nearly all the frustration and restlessness you have been feeling. This is not a criticism. This is a celebration. Because the fact that you feel that gap means you are awake. You are aware. And awareness is always the first step toward change. This week, the planets are creating a rare alignment that specifically supports the kind of internal shift I am describing. It is as though the universe is saying, the training is over. The preparation phase is complete. It is time to step into the full expression of who you are. And that does not mean you have to have everything figured out. It does not mean you need a perfect plan or unlimited confidence or the approval of everyone around you. It means you take the next step. Just the next one. The step that has been sitting in front of you, waiting patiently for you to summon the courage to take it. You know what that step is. You have been circling it for weeks, maybe months. And every time you get close, something pulls you back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, Fear of success, and yes, that is a real thing. Fear that if you actually become the person you are capable of being, your whole life will have to change to accommodate that new version of you. And it will. Your whole life will change. But here is the secret that nobody tells you. It changes for the better. Every single time. When you step into your truth and start living at your full capacity, the things that were meant for you find you faster. The people who are meant to walk with you recognize you more easily. The path that is meant to be yours becomes clearer with every step. So this week, find your quiet courage. Find the bravery that does not need an audience. And take the step, the one you have been avoiding, the one that keeps you up at night. Take it knowing that the stars are behind you, the universe is supporting you, and the future that is starting to feel real is on the other side of that single act of courage. And what comes next in this reading will show you exactly what opens up once you do. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. The 9th piece of guidance this week centers on something that you may not immediately associate with spiritual growth, and that is your daily routine. Aquarius, there is a common misconception that transformation happens in dramatic bursts. That one day you wake up and everything is different. And while there are certainly breakthrough moments, the truth is far more grounded than that. Real, lasting transformation happens in the small, repeated actions you take every single day. It happens in your morning routine, in the way you start each day, in the first thoughts you allow into your mind when you open your eyes. It happens in the evening in how you wind down, what you reflect on, and the intentions you set before sleep. It happens in the space between the big moments, in the ordinary hours that make up most of your life. This week, the stars are drawing your attention to these daily rhythms because they are the infrastructure of the future you are building. Think of it this way. You can have the most beautiful blueprint for a house, but if the foundation is cracked, nothing built on top of it will stand. Your daily routine is your foundation, and right now I suspect there are some cracks. Not huge ones, not catastrophic failures, just small inconsistencies that are quietly undermining your progress. Maybe you start each day by immediately checking your phone, flooding your mind with other people's agendas before you have even set your own. Maybe you stay up too late, not doing anything meaningful, just scrolling or watching or numbing, and then you wonder why you feel groggy and unfocused in the morning. Maybe you skip meals or eat at irregular times, and your energy crashes in the middle of the afternoon just when you need it most. None of these things are terrible on their own, but stacked up day after day, week after week, they create a pattern that works against you. They create friction where there should be flow. This week, I am asking you to redesign one element of your daily routine. Just one. Choose the one that you know deep down is costing you the most. Maybe it is how you start your mornings. If so, try waking up 15 minutes earlier and using that time for silence. Not meditation if that does not appeal to you. Just quiet. A cup of something warm. A few minutes of looking out the window. A chance to let your own thoughts settle before the noise of the day begins. Maybe it is how you end your evenings. If so, try setting a cutoff time for screens. Read a few pages of something that inspires you. Write down 3 things that went well that day, no matter how small. Give your mind something positive to process while you sleep. Or maybe it is something in the middle of your day. A midday walk. A 5-minute pause between tasks where you simply breathe. A moment to check in with yourself and ask, how am I feeling right now? What do I need? These seem like small changes, and they are. But small changes sustained over time create massive results. The person you will be in 6 months is being shaped by what you do today, and every today after that. This week, the stars are reminding you that the future that is starting to feel real will not be built by one bold move. It will be built by 1,000 small intentional choices. And those choices start in the structure of your daily life. But daily routine is just the container. What fills it matters even more, and that is exactly what the next tip addresses. Tip 10. The 10th and final piece of guidance the stars have for you this week is perhaps the most important of all, and it is about trust. Not trust in other people, although that matters too, but trust in yourself. Trust in the process. Trust in the unseen forces that have been guiding you to this exact moment. Aquarius, you are standing at the beginning of something significant. You can feel it. It is that tingling sensation in your chest when you think about the future. It is that quiet knowing that whispers to you in the still moments. It is the reason this reading resonated with you from the very first words. Something is shifting, something real, something that cannot be undone. And in the face of that kind of shift, the most natural response in the world is doubt. Your mind will try to talk you out of it. It will present logical arguments for why this is not real, why you are being naive, why you should play it safe and keep things the way they are. That is not wisdom speaking. That is fear. And fear has been running the show for too long. This week, I am asking you to choose trust over fear. Not blind, reckless trust, but grounded, informed trust. The kind that comes from having lived long enough to know that the universe does not waste energy. If something is stirring in your soul, there is a reason. If a possibility keeps appearing in your mind, it is not random. If you keep being drawn to a particular path, it is because that path has something for you. Trust that. Trust yourself enough to follow where the energy is leading. You have survived everything that has ever happened to you. Every challenge, every loss, every disappointment, every heartbreak. You are still here, still standing, still capable of hope and dreams and love. That track record of resilience is not an accident. It is evidence. Evidence that you are stronger than you think. Evidence that you can handle whatever comes next. Evidence that the universe has been preparing you for exactly this moment. This week, the planetary configuration is creating a powerful alignment between your past experience and your future potential. It is as though everything you have been through was training for what is coming. Every lesson, every setback, every triumph was building a foundation for this next chapter. And now that chapter is ready to begin, but it requires your participation. The universe can open every door in the world, but you are the one who has to walk through them. You can line up every opportunity, but you are the one who has to say yes. You can bring the right people, the right circumstances, the right timing, but you are the one who has to show up. This week, show up. Show up for yourself. Show up for your dreams. Show up for the future that is no longer some distant fantasy, but a real, tangible possibility that you can feel in your bones. The energy is here. The support is here. The alignment is here. All that is missing is your full, wholehearted commitment. And once you give that, once you look the universe in the eye and say, I am ready, everything begins to accelerate. Not in a chaotic, overwhelming way, but in a flowing, natural, almost effortless way that tells you beyond any shadow of doubt that you are exactly where you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing. Trust that. Trust yourself. And watch what happens next. Aquarius, I want you to take a deep breath right now. Let these words settle into your heart. This week is not just another week. It is a threshold, a turning point. A moment where the future stops being something you hope for and starts being something you build, one conscious choice at a time. Everything we have talked about. Your purpose, your relationships, your finances, your health, your self-worth, your creativity, the art of letting go, your quiet courage, your daily routine, and your trust in yourself. All of these are threads in the same tapestry. And this week, you can finally see the picture they are creating. It is beautiful. It is powerful. It is uniquely and unmistakably yours. No one else in the world has your exact combination of experiences, strengths, dreams, and wisdom. No one else can walk the path that is opening up before you. It was designed for you and you alone. And the fact that you are here, listening to these words, feeling them resonate in your soul, tells me that you are ready. Not almost ready. Not nearly ready. Ready. The universe does not deliver messages to people who cannot receive them. If this reading found you, it is because you are prepared for what it contains. So take that readiness and let it fuel your next steps. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait until every question is answered and every fear is resolved. Perfection is a trap that keeps you standing still. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start with the next small step that feels true. And know that with every step you take, the future that is starting to feel real becomes more real, more solid, more yours. This is your time, Aquarius. Not someday, not eventually. Now, this week, this moment. The stars have spoken, the energy is aligned, and the only thing left is your decision. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.